Hi all, welcome back to what will be Conflict of Heroes Solo Campaign 1 Mission 1 Behind Enemy Lines, my part 9. Uh, just about to start. However, yeah, there's probably going to be a 15, 20 minutes, maybe shorter if I can keep it down to that, but I'm a bit like on edge about this, but so it's making me think about what to do regarding the game next and whatever. And it's regarding, I eventually posted a question on Facebook Conflict of Heroes page, which I think is run by the designer. How's his name pronounced? Is it Uwe? Sorry if I've got Uwe Eichert. Is that? Sorry if that's not the right pronunciation, but anyway, I think it's run by him. But so I posted a question, and it was just a basic question, just to start getting the ball rolling and lead me into some more questions. I don't think I'll be asking more questions, because of the answer that I eventually got from the designer. Now, I had two suggestions from just other guys, Scott and Eric, agreeing that they would play it as is. And I'll show you the situation just now and tell you what I was asking. So it might be a bit darker across here. I've not got the full light, but I think that's okay. So this was a picture I posted along with my question, and I've just set it up again here. In fact, it actually is the same hex numbers as well, which I found, which was just lucky, to be honest, because I do mention the hex numbers. So, and then the post was right. It's a wee bit lengthy, but I think I need to try and read this out. I think this is quite important to me. I'll probably put a comment header of this video just saying wherever I finish this, the actual video play will start. I mean, I thought about doing a different episode and not calling it that, but it's still relevant to what I'm doing. So anyway, hi all, Conflict Heroes Solo. I've only played the game solo, so any questions I have here regard the solo expansion, and I may have more to come. Well, I don't think I'm going to, because of how I got the answer to my question. Yeah, it's just kind of left me a bit. Anyway, I'll get to that. I'm not like, yeah, I'll get to it. Right. I understand a lot of you will play with the Rule 42 option a lot, and I've actually realised that this is a great game to include such a rule. However, I do like to follow the rules as written. So then I quote 5.2, which is basically the back and forth I had with Hal, was to try and get the answer to that. And I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't post these as question 1, question 2, because I've quoted 5.2, AI movement towards, just the example of towards, AI movement that does not increase the number of hexes, blah blah blah. I'm not going to read all that out. So I've got a question there though. Does this rule only refer to normal movement, or does it also include low risk movement? Well, unfortunately, nobody has answered that part of it, Hal. I'm still convinced myself that, and if I carry on playing this game until again the designer tells me, I will still consider movements that don't move closer. Well, in fact, if you read between the lines here, the designer does kind of, in a roundabout way, say it's legal. But I'll get to that. So that is not being sort of really answered. And then I quote this example, and I wish I'd set it out better. So as an example, let's say we have this order: AI closest to a target, low risk move towards, and I'm showing this picture. Right, I'm not showing a card or anything here. I'm not sort of listing, like showing what the card, if we had drawn the card, what would we do in this situation. I've not done any of that. I'm just asking for, if the order was AI closest to a target, low risk move towards. Now, I realise the Soviet rifle 09. Actually, I might have the wrong rifles. Yeah, that's number 10. Have I got... Do I have 9 now? Oh, I do, look, there's number 9. Let's keep it right. What is the German unit? Does that matter, Grant? Don't think it matters. Maybe it does. It's irrelevant. It's the Soviet unit. So I realise the Soviet AI rifle 09 cannot move into hex and I'll zoom in a little bit there. Cannot move into hex D07 or hex D08. So that's there or there. Now we know we can't Loris move into there because it's in his fire zone and that would be at short range. That's a no-no, okay? I say, can it, however, move into hex E08? And that is that hex here, right? Which is not getting closer, but moving towards the German unit's flank. It's moving towards it. It's not moving into its flank, it's moving towards it. And that's why that was the first question I was going to ask, because if I got an answer back that I thought I might have got, I was going to then ask the question about, further on things. I mean, if he wasn't here, would he move in here? Not getting closer, and that's him moving from a fire zone into a non-fire zone, if you like. But it's also moving into the flank, which is more. It feels more settled. I think most folk would agree. But again, maybe Hal wouldn't agree because it's still not closing the distance. However, anyway, so that is the question. And like I say, Eric said, I play that it can. Right, and Scott said, Grant, I would play it as a yes move to E08, as like you say, it's moving towards the flank. The next AI turn could be another. He goes on and says next AI turn could be another Loris move, which would move it into E09. Likely you'll do something with the German rifle, but maybe not, as there may be something else more important that you need to take action with. Or if the German rifle is spent, it's a decent AI move. Also, if you don't want to move the AI, you might just sit in the open like a lame duck to get shot up. At least your way it makes some progress. So that was the two sort of, and then eventually I said I appreciate any comments as to how you would all play this, but I was hoping for some confirmation as to how this is viewed within the rules. My take on this is that it would need to come from the design team. So can the designer, Uwe Eichert, and I've quoted his name to try and grab his attention, or any of his team maybe help me out with this. I have other questions to follow regarding similar situations, but rather find out about this first. And again, like I say, I don't think I'll bother with the other questions. So, right, where is his answers then? Right, here we are, okay. So, this is the first response I got from Uwe. Or is it Uwe? Could it be Uwe? Sorry, I'm not sure. I think it's a German name. Again, yeah, you're just thinking, Grant. So Grant Lang, the player, right, here we go, right? The player should help the AI in making this move. So right away, we're sort of rule 42 and right away, without telling me that there's a rule that says if this cannot or can do this, he's right away telling me, well, you could say that he's telling you right away that there's not a rule for that and you've got to step in and rule it yourself. So the player should help the AI in making this move, full stop. Now he goes on, by itself, I would not make this move with the AI. He's not telling me that this is against the rules, right? By itself, I would not make this move with the AI, since it is taking an action that does not put it into an immediate advantageous position, and thus you're taking another action option away from the AI. Okay, let's break that down a little bit. Now, I get what he said at first, and it made some sense, because it's not putting an immediate advantageous position. And I'll get to my follow-up question about moving into the flank. Would you consider that as and I thought, well, that must be. And then even in the rules it says, and that then tells me that definition of towards, the wording is correct, and it does mean into a target's flank, not move towards a target's flank, into a target's flank. And the only part about moving towards an enemy flank is when you look at the AI hex movement hierarchy here. And remember, I was reading this again, and I was like thinking, have I absorbed this properly? Because if you just look at the first sentence, it says sometimes an AI can execute a movement order by moving into more than one hex. If this is the case, then you follow these hierarchy, trying to achieve them in that order, really. But that's if there's multiple choices, you know. You know, if you've got two you can move into that are getting closer, one of them's not in the enemy's flank, but one of them is towards the enemy's flank, you do that. It tells you that there. But 5.2 in itself, talking about, sorry, I know there's maybe some shadows and daft lights coming in here. That says that if it cannot move closer, it may instead move into a target's flank. There's other things as well. Into a target's flank. Not towards it, into it. So that kind of tells me that what he's saying there is if it was moving into the target's flank or if it was moving into better cover, yeah. I mean, I still feel that like this. He's saying that's not an immediate advantageous position. No, I guess I'm not moving into his flank. I'm still in his fire zone. Fair enough. Okay. Again, he's not telling me this is the rule. He's telling me that this is what he sees. This, by itself, I would not make this move, okay? But then he goes on after that, and sorry, finishing that sentence off, and thus you're taking another action option away from the AI, okay? And I'm like, okay, I suppose I could be. So let's just grab, I've got two cards in the discard pile here, hang on. They're not the best examples. I was trying to find something that might have a walrus move on it. Okay. Nah, I don't want to start searching through the deck though. So basically, you know, we're looking at a card here, and he's saying that, let's just say that this first instruction was the walrus move option. What he's saying is that if we done that, it's not an immediate advantageous position, and you might be stopping the unit from the AI from doing one of these other orders. Well, I'll tell you what, I've never thought about that before. I've never once considered, right, I could do this, right, can I do this, and look through it and look through that, and I've never interrupted the thought of, can I do this? Well, that's maybe not true. It's maybe not true. I've never once considered that, hang on, nah, that doesn't look like a good, that doesn't look good, because look what he could do. Let's not bother doing that. Or, you know, I've never done that, because the whole point is you work them from top to bottom. I'm pretty sure it tells you that in the rules. It doesn't, so it's, I mean, I don't think it ever says in the rules that, again, Rule 42, you can do what you like, really. Yeah. Well, as long as it's not breaking a rule, but this is the thing about this game. This isn't a rule. There's no rule to say you can or cannot do this. And I'm starting to work that out, and I've realised that that's why Rule 42 is such an important in this game, because it's like, well, is that but here you go. You say you do that, and then you look at the next order on the card, and you say, well, that's not a bad move. It's moving towards his flank. It's not into his flank, but... And then you look at the next order on the card, and say, well, hang on, he's going to actually fire at him. If we go to the next order, he's going to fire. So let's do that instead. I would never have done any of that. I think that's going... Well, I don't know. I don't think that's written in the rules either, or giving you that kind of idea. However, okay, so he said, for example, is the next order to fire at the German unit with a heavy machine gun that is within its normal range, you know. So he's saying that another heavy machine gun could be here maybe and be able to fire at that rather than that move into there. Now, okay, you might say, well, that does make some sense. Okay, but I've never thought about ignoring an order because it was a better order to come. Maybe you guys do that too. That's when I started getting this, I thought, oh wait a minute, this is starting to go down a road I didn't want to go down. But he finishes the comment with one last sentence. But if you as a player do see a good advantage for the AI, by all means take it. Now, I've already said at the top, I'm not really one for doing Rule 42. I just want to know the rules. He's telling me there's no rule for that. He's telling me that, yeah, you could do that. He's telling me that he wouldn't do that. He's telling me that you could do it, you could not do it, you could do something else. There's no right or wrong. Okay, so in some ways, Hal, if we are talking about them not moving closer, he's not he's saying he wouldn't make that move. He's not saying it's an illegal move, if you like. He is saying that he doesn't feel like it's a beneficial move. Okay, so a wee bit more. So yeah. So I replied again. I said, so there is no rule here to say for sure, question mark. And then I've also added, well, apart from 42, smiley face, because that's what we're talking about here. I've just said there's not a rule to say you can or can't. There is a rule 42 that says you do what you think's right. So that is more rule 42. So if it was actually moving into so that I carry on. If it was actually moving into the unit's flank, would this have made a difference? I would assume so, based on 5.2. If an AI cannot move in a way that decreases number of hexes to target, it may instead move into the target's flank. So we're talking about it being there. However, the one here is you're not moving closer, but you're not only moving into his flank, you're actually moving out of his fire zone, aren't you? So if you look at if the AI is in a fire zone, the first instruction is we'll move into a non-fire zone hex. Boom, there he goes, non-fire zone hex. However, you will notice again how this isn't getting closer to the unit. So, So that's what I'm asking him now. Can we do that? Is that advantageous? And to be honest, I missed his reply to this, and I've only just seen it today when I came, because he replied to and added a wee also on. So I didn't notice he replied. So in reply to that, he said, yes, it would make a difference since the AI has immediate advantage and is also putting the player's unit at a disadvantage. Okay, I get that, understand that. That makes sense. That, yeah, that would make a difference. And that, to me, is a rule, though. Again, he has said, yes, it would make a difference. So I think what he's saying is there that, yes, that's a rule. That would be, that would be illegal. He's not saying to me, yeah, you could do that, but I wouldn't do that, or I would do that. You don't have to. To me, that's what you would do. There's not, yes, you can rule 42 it, but that's what you would do by the rules there. So, to me, I think there's no rule there. There's no rule to tell me that I can or can't move into there. However, when I'm there is a rule to say that, yes, you would move into there as a low-risk move. Now, you'll notice, again, he's agreed to that it would make a difference, Hal. And like I say, moving from there to there is not moving closer to that unit. So, tends to make me, again, I was pretty certain about it, but without him actually answering the question, saying, yes, you can use low-risk moves, and not get closer. He's agreeing with me there, which is kind of like, yeah, I think so anyway. So yeah, and then my also, what is the meaning of, and then I read out, if the AI is in a fire zone, the AI, and then number 3, will move towards the target's flank if the AI cannot move closer and the hex is the same or higher DM or not in a fire zone. Now, that is a horribly worded sort of instruction there, a rule, I think, but it's telling us that if it's in a fire zone, which it is, it will move towards the target's flank, which to me tells me that it can move to there. Because then it follows on, if the AI cannot move closer, which it can't, right? And the hex is the same or higher DM, it is the same, or not in a fire zone. Right, so interrupted with a phone call and I'm not sure where I was. I think I had read out also what is the meaning of the AIs in a fire zone, number 3. And I think this is his reply to that. He says, again, the AI is working on putting itself at an advantage. The same statement, right, hang on, wait a minute. Right, so again, I know the light's not great, the shadow there. So it says again, and we're looking at number 3 here, this is the one I quoted, asking him what the meaning was, because that kind of looks to me like that turns that into a rule. What I was trying to do. It kind of looks like that's what that's trying to do from there. Move into the flank towards the flank. So he says, again, the AI is working and put itself at an advantage. The, in quotes, same statement, which is, and the hex is the same, which, that's the only word same in that sentence anyway. The same statement insinuates that the AI would automatically move towards the unit's flank if the move gives it the same or better cover. Well, it is getting the same cover. So, it's not getting better cover, but it's getting the same cover. If it moves towards this guy's flank, he's moving in from a 0 DM into a 0 DM. He says the caveat is that this should not be taken as gospel. Right? Now, this is the final bit that I was like, okay, I think I've got issues here. And I appreciate the response here, but I'm starting to see this game more for what it's not what I thought. It's not really what I thought. And it was years ago I played this game first, and maybe I just got along with it that way. I don't think so. I don't think I've changed that much. I think I'm still a person that I think I've always been a person that wants to play the games by the rules, but I'm seeing it differently, and this is showing me it's different. So he says the caveat is that this should not be taken as gospel if a following order could, for example, as stated above, destroy the unit with HMG fire. So what he's saying there is, right, and again, I'm putting a card down here. I'm just putting the card down to show you the structure of the card, really. That if this is AI closest to a unit, low risk, move towards, right? And if this said something that's hit AI or something, I'm just going to skip one out. If this said something that wasn't going to do anything, right? And if this one said that there was a heavy machine gun that could fire on that unit and he says destroy the unit with heavy machine gun fire. I mean, how are you going to know that? You're not going to know that. You're going to have to roll dice. I don't think there's an instruction that says just destroy a unit. Not that I've come across. So, but this is an example. So that if there's an order on that card further on that could fire at that unit, then you wouldn't do that at all. And I'm just like, nah. So, okay. Well, and when I say nah, what I mean is this is now how this game is totally different to what I thought. So my finishing comment to him is, wow, okay, it seems the AI is far looser than I thought. So definitely, if he can't say that that's a rule to a rule that allows this move or a rule that doesn't do either. You've got to decide for yourself. What he's saying he would do is not make that move and go on to the next order, but he's not saying it's illegal. If he told me it was illegal, then I'd be like, okay, let's work on that. He's not. So that's why I'm saying that the AI is far looser than I thought, because I think that should be a rule, whether you can do it or not. But listen, it's his game. He designed it. I'm not arguing that. I just want to understand how to play it properly. And finishing off with this paragraph of what I've wrote, and I would have never thought about looking at the orders ahead of the one I was trying to carry out. Like I've just said, I would never have thought, right, I could Loris move here, where I know I can't move in there, I know I can't move in there. Well, that's kind of moving towards his flank. How about that? Let's just see what the orders are coming up, though, next. Does it tell you that in the rules? I don't think it tells you that in the rules, apart from Rule 42. Okay, so, and then I finish off with, it does seem that Rule 42 is far more important than I thought. Anyway, thanks for your replies. Cheers, Grant. So I hope I'm not coming across as dissing anything here or that. I'm kind of shocked, surprised, disappointed too, because I'd like this to be a rule one way or the other. I'd like to say no, because it says in the rules that you can't do that. Or Yes, because it says in the rules that that's fine. Not, I mean, Rule 42, let's read it again. A mission may create a unique situation that designers did not foresee. That cannot be a thing that they've not foreseen, right? These unique situations may on rare occasions give an order that the AI it's not in the best interest. I could argue that. While we encourage you to let the AI play out and hopefully surprise you with unexpected actions, well, I'd like to, but I'm being told that that's probably it's not an illegal move, but I'm being told that it's probably not the move that you should make. And hopefully it surprises you with unexpected actions. Feel free to allow your common sense to override an order and go on to attempt to execute the next order. So it is mentioned there about going on to execute the next order. I want to feel like I want to look back at the beginning of the rulebook here to see that if it suggests that you look at the first order and then if you don't feel like it's going to do anything, do you then move on to the next order? I don't think that's in the rulebook. But I could be wrong. But it's certainly not something. I played this game quite a bit, and it's certainly not something I've thought about. So, the big thing to come... Right, sorry, I clicked the stop button there. The big thing that comes out of this is, look, you need to use Rule 42. You cannot follow the rules because I can't make a rule there. I need to see what the next order is on the card. But, he's not saying, no, that's an illegal move. He's not saying that. He's saying... What if there's no other order in the card then? What do I do there? Do I take that move on? Or do I look for another AI that maybe makes a similar move? Yuck. I don't know. It's disappointing for me. Because I like the game. I really do like the game. But that... And in some ways, it's made it worse for me that he's saying, look at the next order on the card, because you might be able to... Because now I'm going to have to look at the card. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, to be honest. I really don't know. I'd like to... I'd like to keep playing it, but... anyway. I mean, I've got to finish off this campaign mission 1. And it seems a shame to leave it there, but I've basically got to look at it, it's totally different, and I've just got to decide for myself, and I've just got to say, look, Rule 42 is kicking in here. Because it's not legal, it's not illegal. It's not written that you can do it, it's not written that you can't do it. I'm kind of lost there. Anyway, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just a bit frustrated, a bit disappointed, and wanted this to be more a tighter rules system, and apparently it is. And have I had major issues with it? No, a lot of the time it can just tick on, and I've made some decisions, and I have sort of sneaked in Rule 42 certain situations, but I'm never really going to know now which one. That just leaves me even worse, in a worse position. I'm not going to know if I need to step in or not, and there's no point me asking some of the other questions, because I feel like they're going to be exactly the same. The designer's not going to say, no, you can't do that, yes, you can do that. He's going to say, well, he's going to say, well, I wouldn't do that. You know, it's like, I know Lewis and that has answered questions to me like that, and I'm getting it now. Why you play it that way, why you look at it that way, Lewis, because it's the only way to play the game. There's nothing that says you cannot do this for certain situations, or you know, there's some that just leave it. You've got to be left to yourself to decide. Right, okay, I think I've gone on enough. It's possibly about 30 minutes there, actually. So I'll need to add something to that. But I'm not dissing the game. I'm not dissing the designer's response. I hope that's not coming across like that. I'm disappointed that I felt the rules were tight. The AI system was tighter and would take care of this. But there's maybe the reason why I can't find these clear in the rules, because they're not there. They're not in the rules clear, you know. So, yeah. So, I guess I'm just going to have to play it the way I think from now on. But I get the feeling that might cut this short, because, I don't know, it's leaving a bit of a sour taste with me. Yeah, I prefer to play solo games that take care of everything from the AI's side of things. But then again, you say, well, have you not had fun with this? Yes, I really have. I have. And I want to carry on. I know we're left with this situation down here, and I remember, and I'm not that sure what to do. And most of these things you can take care of without, and I'm not going to make a mistake. I'm not going to be doing anything that is well, maybe you shouldn't be doing that because, this might be better to do. I'm now going to look at the card and look down the orders though and say, well, okay, I could move that, but it doesn't look that great. Or I could go down to that, and that's going to fire at that. That's like, I didn't know that at all. I didn't think about that. Right, give me a second, we'll get this started then, and hopefully get this mission finished. Right, well, it's been a couple of days or so, maybe 3 actually, since I played. So just a reminder of where the track is. And yeah, this is part 9, isn't it, of my playthrough. Although, like I say, I will put a comment in the header of this, just saying how long there is, me going over that question about Facebook, or that I'd put on Facebook, in case folk are not interested, because you might not be. And they've got, we got 4 victory points back, didn't we? Because we captured one of the control markers, got one of our prisoners released. Unfortunately, it ended up meaning that they were both stacked in this hex. This became a unit because it was an RE, and they fired at us. We got away with the first one. However, this guy got hit, so he's suppressed down the bottom. And this guy stayed fresh, and that was the worst part about it all, wasn't it? Because if he had been spent, I might have been tempted to move away, maybe, because I'm running out of time. I need to hit that, and then just try and get that, and then head west, which is up. Because if I get that, it puts him back to 1 victory point. However, anyway, this guy stayed fresh. So, it's our turn. This guy's spent, and he's facing the wrong direction as well, so that's good. However, this guy is going to fire. So what can we've got caps, and we've got luck. Can we attempt to maybe take this guy right out? So I thought about if I attack, but then I thought about a group attack. That's interesting. Because if I do this as a group attack, right, this guy gets his full firepower of 2, and then obviously I'm getting the 3 for being short range, that's 5. Now, with a group attack, any units that are in the same hex or adjacent to this unit add 1 firepower. And the thing is with this guy, he's getting -2. I bet you it says in the rules that they've got to have a positive. Well, actually, maybe not. Right. Give me a second to go and look this up. Yeah, that feeling it was a 0 AR. It says multiple. This is group attacks, 9.1.2, page 11. On the main rulebook, multiple units may group attack. Attack groups must target a single hex. An attack group designates 1 unit as the attack group leader, with the rest of the units in the attack group as supporting units. Supporting unit must, and there's 5 bullets, be in the attack group leader's hex and or surrounding hexes. Well, he's in the actual hex, but he could be in one of the 6 surrounding hexes to be eligible. He must have the target in its fire zone. Well, they both do, yeah. Whereas if this guy was facing the other way, you know, the guy underneath, if he was facing the other way, he wouldn't be able to join the attack. Makes sense. Be in normal range of the target. Well, yes. They're both in the same range. Not have a... Grant pauses there as he reads the one that's not going to allow it. The one that's not going to allow it is, and I skipped by it to look at the last one, is not have a hit marker that affects its attack rating. Well, that one does have a hit marker that affects its attack rating. And it did feel like it was a bit wrong and a bit cheeky to be able to use that guy. And the one I was looking at that thought was going to allow it was the last one is have a 0 AR or higher. So, and I'm saying, well, he's got 0 attack rating because he's got a -2 to his 2 here. However, the previous bullet means that he can be part of the group. So that's that. It was only attack. It was going to add 1 attack point, and remember they would both get spent if we spent check on a 3 as well. But it was just to try and add as much as we can to try and take that guy out. So I'm not going to be able to do that. So if I do attack, I'm going to attack with 2 plus 3. Is he in cover? Oh, he is. So it's 2 plus 3 is 5. Yeah, it's not great, is it? So it's going to be 5 against 12 plus 1 for the plus 1 DM hex. So it's 5 against 13. And yes, we could put 2 caps into that, but... I'm wondering, maybe the luck might come into this one, because we really try and take that guy out. Well, so let's think, 5 against 13, we can spend 2 caps. So that's 7 against 13. So that's only a 6 required, or a 10. I'm waiting for the critical hit though, that's the thing. But if we roll and we get an 8, then we could use this. And the reason I say an 8 is because I want a 10 as a result, and I could use this after any die roll. A player may attempt to modify the result by rolling 1d6. As long as we don't get a 1, we would get a +2 to that 8, making it a 10, and then critically hitting them. So, and that can be, that could be added. So I think, and the thing is, we can wait and see what the die roll is going to be. I think that makes more sense. I mean, because if I move away, then again, you could move into that hex, Grant. And in all honesty, it's like going along that way. That's what you should be doing. I never really kind of thought about that. Problem there is I need to do it as a group move, and it means that they're staying stacked, and it means that he might well still get and if I got a blue card with pivot and fire on that, and that would just turn around and shoot at both of us in our flanks. Because this guy can move. It's just his fire inside the thing's not great. I don't want to just leave him there though. Yeah, I'm going to move them. So I'm going to group move them. Now here's this question's going to come up again. About if I was to group move them by spending caps, would it just be 1 cap that I'm spending? I want to feel like the answer is yes. It's going to cost you 1 cap to group move them. I don't feel 100% sure though, that's the thing. Because I'm using caps, do I not maybe need to spend 2? But then, no, because what would the point of that be? You're doing a spent check on a 1. And the reason I want to do that is just to try and avoid them getting spent. Oh, I'll just take a chance again. To be honest, I want to keep them moving, and I could then use the 1 cap to move one of them forward. Which, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I just don't want to draw a 1. Right, okay, I'm going to group move them into there, so we'll go check on a 1. Oh. So there you go. Now you're wanting them to pass now. Have I got anybody left? Yeah, I do. So I still have my 4 caps. I get the feeling I might be wanting to move one of the guys, maybe move the one that's hit into there. I need to spend 2 caps to do that if I move them into there. I don't want them staying stacked, that's the thing. Right, okay, well, it's back to the AI anyway. So let's draw our first order card since we've had some interesting information here regarding how this game is played. And maybe just how everybody's been playing it, except me. Well, I don't think that's true. I think well, the 2 replies that I got from, who was it, Scott and Eric, I want to say, they may well just play it that way though, and they just play it that way, because it now feels to me that this game as a solo game should be played in that way, that you look at the moves you're making and you decide. I thought it was a tighter system, I did. I wanted to believe that there were rules for these things, and it seems there's not rules for everything. Anyway, okay, we've done enough of that, Grant. It's more than enough. I know I go on. If AI plus units listen, you got 10. It is not, do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, there's far more than 10. And then fresh AI less than fresh. There's nothing up close. This guy's obviously spent. That's a green card. Right, sorry, I'm reading ahead of the orders when I shouldn't be. Fresh AI less than fresh units. Well, the rumoured enemy counters come into that. We've only got 1 fresh unit, so that's not going to apply. Highest firepower AI closest to a fresh unit that's just acted. Well, the units that just acted are now not fresh, they're spent. AI closest to a fresh unit, fire. Well, we do have a fresh unit up there, but nothing, remember, night rules, etc. Well, not that would matter. Nobody's got a line of sight on him, I don't think. Well, certainly not with night rules. Nobody can fire it on Grant. Come on. Unhit AI closest to a target move towards. Oh, no. That's even worse. I'd sooner have it that it fired on me. That's dreadful. Okay, I think we're going to have to use the caps to move the whole group away. Right, so unhit AI, closest to a target, move towards. Well, this guy's 2 away from these 2 targets. This is 3 away. This is spent, so can't be counted. And I want to say the RE 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. He's 3 away up the top. So this is the closest unit, and he is unhit, and he's going to move towards him. And he's got a choice of moving into here or here. He is going to move into here. He's going to turn his face in like that. Now he is moving into a stone building. So his cost for that move is going to be 2. Is that right, Grant? Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Well, you know what? You can start doing things now that... And there was nothing else to read on that card, eh? I started thinking, right, I'm going to look at all the instructions now and see, but... Well, you know, it doesn't mean this game can't be played and have a great time with it. You've just got to have a different view on how it works, I think. And I've struggled with that. You know, I've struggled with that. But this game, you just need it. You need to have it, Grant. Right, we're checking on a 2 to see how he gets on. That's a 5. Well, that's pity. Right, so now we've got a problem then, because this guy's going to fire again at our flanks. Well, I'm going to have to decide now if this group move thing works. What I could do is group move, put one of them in there and put that guy in there, and that would be a check on it. Oh, I'm not checking. No, I would have to spend 2. Hold on. I do have to pay for them here because they're spent. So it would cost me 2 caps. I don't want to leave that guy there though. So it would cost me 3 caps to make this move. But you know what? I'm not going to do anything else with the cap. Right, I'm going to just do as I was going to start looking up things there, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to group cap move these, if you like. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to put him. I was thinking about putting him into the building because he's got. Then it gives him a +1 to his rally when we get him fresh again. So he would move into there as a group, and this guy's going to move into there. They're going to keep their facing like that. That to me tells me it costs me 3 caps because it's 2 for that guy to go into there and 1 for that guy to go into there. And the fact they're both spent. And you know what? I better look at that. Hang on. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I was starting to look in the 3rd edition rules there, and it's talking about you can use spent units as long as they cost 0 caps, or as long as they cost 0, which is what I'm doing. You know, I'm moving them both, but I'm spending. If I'm going to spend 3 caps, I think I can do it. So 1, 2, 3. I've got 1 cap left, and I've made that move. And it's just to try and get some safety. I just wonder if I should maybe adjust this guy's facing, but just to avoid being in this guy's flank. This guy's going to flank me, but then I've got this guy here. Well, there's a good chance that could be a no enemy grant. Can I not? Could my facing be like that? No, because he's still on my flank. In fact, they're both on my flank there, aren't they? So I was thinking about facing this guy, but then I'm maybe going to be. He's then going to be on my flank, so. Well, yeah, possibly still better doing that. Because we know this is a unit, this might not be. Okay, let's do that. Right, and there's no check on that. That was a group action. And I think I'm allowed to do that. So I'm going to go with it. Right, so back to the AI. Right, they get the blue card this time. So what we got? Well, there's nothing close combat or short range. Look at that! Look at that one. Look at it. Pivot and or fire. Remember what I said if we were sitting there? Sorry, I'm zoomed in a bit. When we were sitting there, that this guy would, if he got the pivot and or fire, so pivot and fire, we'd pivot and fire all in one action to our 2 guys that were stacked there. So just as well we moved them and done what we've done. Right, so none of that. Execute counter actions. Well, we didn't pass and we didn't fire. So none of that. So highest firepower AI furthest from highest firepower unit, fire +2 caps. Yes, that can happen. See, I'm just thinking there that how do you decide that that's the right order? And you know, do you sort of say, let's just say that the AI has a hit unit and it's right, that it's spent and it's beside it? No, that would come in it before if it was adjacent, wouldn't it? I'm just trying to look at the card and sort of say, well, how do you decide? I guess maybe what he's meaning is, if you come across an instruction that is a bit like, is that going to do anything? Maybe I'm being a bit nippy there with that one, and maybe I should sort of say, look, if the order's not clearly doing anything substantial for the AI, let's just have a look at the next orders to see. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so we've got highest firepower AI furthest from highest firepower unit, fire +2 caps. Well, I don't think any of that stuff's going to come in. Well, apart from the highest firepower AI, because this guy could fire. Remember, we're still nighttime rules, so these need to be within 2. He could, but if we're going with my highest firepower, these are always the lowest, and this guy is the other guy that could fire. There's nobody else that can fire, so we don't need to check furthest from, and we don't need to. Well, we do need to check highest firepower unit. because we've got two options. He's the AI that's going to fire, and we've got two options. He's going to fire at this guy though, isn't he? Because he's firing into his flank and he's in the open. So it's going to, it's going to be that against that, innit? He's getting +2 caps, so this as well. Yeah, and they're both, if we were to check between these, he's got well, actually, he's not. He's got a firepower of 0. So he's definitely the highest firepower unit. Well, actually, I don't need to check for other things then. But it would be this guy, because I'm sure it's easiest to hit, isn't it? And he's the easier to hit over him. So he is going to fire with 2 caps. So he's got a 3, plus a 2 is 5. 5 against our 12. It's still a 7, but it is still a 7. Yeah, so 5 against a 12, and let's just see what we get. We could do with some luck here. You do have a luck card beside you, Grant. Just remember it's there. If it, well, right, okay, so 5 against 12. Yeah, it needs a 7. Oh no, sorry, hang on. It's not 5 against 12, Grant. It's 5 against 11. He's firing at our flank. It's 5 against 11. That's feels like a lot worse now. I know it's only 1, but it feels like a lot worse. Right, so they need a 6 to hit. Then he gets an 8. It's not a 10, but that's a hit. That's just, yeah. And it's a blue card, so he's not even doing a spent check. It's just, yeah. Kind of yuck. Right, here we go. Hit marker is unnerved. Well, it's a pretty good one, but still hit. That's action over. And no spent check required. Now, us. I have 1 cat left. I could move him, and then he's out of range, that guy, you know, and then he can't get shot at. I mean, this guy could get shot. Well, actually, that's not true. This guy could fire at him, couldn't he? I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to move him 1 with a cap. Yeah, I'm going to use my last cap and move him 1. And then this guy's now not able to fire at him. This guy will, but we might get lucky and it might be a no enemy. If not, he's firing into our front at least. Okay, back to the AI. Here we go. Another blue card. It might not matter. Well, I don't know, to be honest. Right, there's nothing up close. Hit AI closest to unit rally. There's no hit AI. Highest firepower AI furthest from a hit unit. 5 +1 caps. Well, that's definitely going to happen, isn't it? And in fact, yeah, it's going to be this. Because I was wondering there about this guy firing, because he can't fire at him, but he can. But however, the first part of the instruction is highest firepower AI furthest from a hit unit. Well, it's got to be within 2 of the hit unit anyway. So it's either him or him, and remember, we don't consider these highest firepower, so this is the highest firepower AI. Furthest from a hit unit. He's the only one that he can fire at. So he's going to fire at him with +1 caps, so just as well we turn this guy around. So that's going to be a 3 +1, 4 against 12, but +1 for the wooden building. So that's 13, so it's 4 against 13. So it needs a 9. But this is to take us right out, so because we're already hit. Needs a 9. Okay, not this time. I wish that roll had been the last time. It wasn't though. Okay, and then yeah, again, no spent check because it's a blue command order card. Right, now we're out of caps, so nothing we can do here. That's 1-2, but he's in a +1 DM hex. So do we attempt to start passing? You know what? Maybe. No. Wait, Grant. If he goes If they get a green card to attack, this guy's he's gonna attempt to attack either him or him. Not sure which, to be honest. Maybe him. I don't know. Anyway, then if it turns out to be no enemy, then they'll pass. But then we can just pass if they do that. And the other way of them passing is the counter actions. So if the player passed and all revealed AI within 3 hexes of units are spent, I'll reveal the AI within 3 hexes as well. See, that's not going to happen because this guy is not spent. Yeah, he's keeping them from not passing. So until he becomes spent, there's no point in me doing that. Okay, so that means I'm not going to pass then. Well, what am I going to do with that rifle unit, though? Really? I mean, I get no other points. I can't see him being able to get down. I don't know. Should you not maybe move up behind us and maybe have a go at this, Grant? Just because when the time comes and we do pass, he's going to be like right beside him. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So I'm going to move in there first for a check on a 1, and then next turn I'll move into that heavy woods. So check on a 1, we get a 4. Okay, all good there. So now back to them. Track's moving. Okay. Oh, that's not good. We really kind of wanted the track to move twice there to skip that reinforcements. So place an RE counter on hex L10, which is number 8 on the map there. You can see it right at the side there. So rumoured enemy counter. Yeah, on hex L10. He's going to be revealed right away though. But we are putting a Soviet unit in the cup, so he's going to. That's a 0 DM hex, and he's within 2 of a German unit. So he's going to get revealed right away, but we need to finish the event first, which is a Soviet rifle into the RE cup. So I can just take one of the ones that are killed, can't I? I don't think there's a problem with that. Well, I've got these ones set aside. I think I've got them set aside because they're the ones I've eliminated, but I don't think it matters that much. Right, I'll put this number 9 one in that I was using for examples. Right, so that's into the cup. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4 units, counters in the RE cup. And we are going to, before we start carrying it though, I'm going to move that on as well. So that's that done. And then before we do carry out the action on the card, he's within 2 in a 0 DM hex. So we've got line of sight on him, so we need to reveal him. And although I want this guy down here to be a no enemy, you kind of don't want an enemy to appear there as well. So here we go. Oops, I've drawn 2 things there. Right, I'm going to put these back because I drew a no enemy and a Soviet counter somehow. So I'm going to shuffle up again. I'm not looking. I can assure you. They must have stuck to my hand. I think. To my fingers. Right, let's go for that one. Right, that is a no enemy then. Which, yeah, is probably better for us, isn't it, really? But I get the feeling the best we've got is probably 1 no enemy counter left, I think. And there's three REs. So we really would like this one to be a no enemy if there is any left. Right, well, what's the order? It's a green card this time, so it's no blue. We did not pass or fire, so no counter actions. Unhit AI closest to fresh unit that just acted. Fire. No, because the fresh unit that just acted is here, and he's spent. There's nobody that can fire upon him. What we go after that? AI closest to target move towards. Oh no. Okay. AI closest to target move towards. Well, it's going to be one of these down here. This is 2 away from this. This is 2 away from this and this. And there's nothing closer than that's not spent anyway. So we need to find the AI first. More than one AI is equal, so it's unhit and then lowest cost to move, then randomly. So I'm going to have to pick randomly between this and this. In some ways this might be better. If we ended up... Right, just roll it, Grant. Right, so I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. I'm going to show you this die roll in case you... It does look like it might be rather important. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but... So the RE's 1, 2, 3, the unit's 4, 5, 6, right? No, well, it is the unit anyway. So it is the unit that's been selected. Now he's only got one, because this is his closest target, whereas this guy had 2 options. So he's going to move towards this. Now we could go in here, we could go in here. I'm going to say that he's going to move in here because it's moving closer to the unit's flank. And remember, the hierarchy says if they've got 2 options, towards the unit's flank is better than not. So yes, keep his facing like that, and then he's going to check to be spent on a 1, and I'm really hoping to draw a 1 here. Hey, bingo. Okay, we get lucky there. Okay, good. Right, moving on, back to us. We're going to just move into the woods this time, so it's going to be a check on a 2, and then into that guy's... yeah, that's fine. So check on a 2, come on. We get a 5. Okay, we're in maybe for a shot here. Right, but back to them. Reshuffle after action. Discard's going on top of the pack. What have we got? 36 minutes there, because I know I rabbited on for about 25, 30 maybe, so I'll maybe just cut apart, but I've got a bit more time here, so I'll finish this card and then I'll probably cut the part and then copy it across, and then I'll come straight back, hopefully. Right, so reshuffle after the action. It's a green card. There's no short range stuff green card wise. AI mortar or infantry gun, none of that. AI furthest from the lowest defense value unit fire. Oh yeah, the RE can, yeah. So I was just looking at the next order on the card, and the next order is AI closest to target move towards. However, I'm also thinking here that the designer wasn't meaning to ignore instructions that you actually can carry out. I don't believe. Well, he kind of was. He kind of was, because he was saying that it's not. It doesn't say you can do it. It doesn't say you can't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would move on to the next order. It was more like that, rather than, because we can actually do this. I mean, I'm going to do these instructions. I can't see myself skipping on by something that's quite clear. Right, okay. And maybe that's what he was meaning anyway. Right, so AI furthest from the lowest defense value unit fire. Well, this guy is the only one that can carry out that action. He's the only fresh unit within 2. So he can fire on one of these 2. Now, I think... what was it? AI furthest from the lowest defense value unit. Well, Right, well, he's going to fire, but then I've got to reveal him. But this guy's going to have a 13. No, he's not. That's his flank. That's going to be a 12. And that's going to be a 12 as well, isn't it? Yeah, because he's going into his front, he's going into his flank, but he's in a wooden building. So we're going to have to randomise between these two anyway. But the fact this guy's going to fire, I'm going to be left with a tricky situation there then, am I not? If I pull a no enemy out of the cup here, they're going to pass, and then I'm sitting here at the flank of this guy, not really wanting to pass. Well, Grant, let's just see what this is first. Right, so before I randomise which one of these is going to attack, he is going to try and attack, so we need to reveal this. Okay? So I'm into the cup again. There is only 3 chits left in here. I want to say only one of them's a no enemy, I think. If there's one. Right, here we go. And it's not. It's a rifle. So rifle comes in facing that way. Oh, that doesn't mean we've not got that scenario up top. Now he's going to fire at one of these. To me, I think he's going to have to randomly choose, but hang on, we'll see. It might come into something. Actually, it might be because he's not got he's got a reduced attack rating, hasn't he? If the eligible AI can execute attack order against multiple units that are equally distant away, the unit that is easiest to hit with the lowest total DV value. Well, then the instruction on the card was wanting the lowest DV unit anyway. We're both the same, so we need to skip on. The hit unit, they're both hit. The fresh unit, neither of them are fresh. The unit with the highest AR, I thought it was going to come down to that, because that guy's got an AR of 0 because he's got a -2. This guy's got an AR of 2. So he is going to fire on him. No caps, he's going to fire with 3 against 12. So needs a 9. And off we go again. No, that can't be a 9. Yeah, 7, yeah. Well, it could have been a 5 or a 6. Right, okay, we're good now. We want this guy spent. So he's going to check on a 4. And then we'll shuffle the deck. Come on. 2, yes. Okay, he's spent. Good. And now only 2 RE in the cup. Oh, well, the 2 RE are away at the top. Well, but I mean, they do have another 3 fresh unit, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, don't they? That could start just doing things, moving about, and they can't fire, but... Well, that guy's fired, and he should have a muzzle flash on him, shouldn't he? Yeah, I didn't put them on the time before there, but I don't think it's relevant, because I don't think there's really nothing we can do anyway to benefit from it. Right, I'm shuffling up the deck. I've already done the spent check. I'm just going to take that off because it's irrelevant. And it will be our turn next, but I'm just going to cut the video there and copy this across as part 9, and maybe I need a wee bit charge on the phone as well, but yeah, I'm hopefully going to come back and do a bit more of this. It doesn't look like we're going to quite get this mission finished yet. Well, possibly another part. Nah, I still think there's maybe more to go. I don't know though. We'll see. Okay, I'll be back with the next part shortly. Okay, cheers.